Grand Rising family, today we gather with heavy hearts to honor and remember those who have suffered loss, whether of life, home, or cherished possessions, during these devastating fires in Southern California. To our Niji, our family, our neighbors, and all who have been impacted, know that you are not alone. We are all family, and in this time of pain and uncertainty, let us not forget the strength that resides within us. This strength, born of generations past, is the same force that has carried us through countless trials. It is the intelligence, the ambition, the drive, and the indomitable essence of who we are. Together, as a collective, we have the power to rebuild, to rise, and to be greater than ever before. What we have gained before, we can gain again, and more. Yet, in the journey toward greatness, we sometimes lose things that mean so much to us. Things we have fought for, bled for, cried for. Even so, we must remember that our resilience is unmatched. Our determination is unshakable. And as true Americans, we know that what is truly ours, what belongs to us by nature, can never be permanently taken away. To those who know, you know. To our family and everyone else affected by this tragedy, I offer my deepest condolences. Let us hold a moment of silence for all that has been lost, and for the hope, strength, and unity that will carry us forward. Yokoki. Thank you. Halito Chimachugma, this is Chief Steve coming at y'all with another episode of True Story. Before we get into it, make sure that you guys like this video, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Got a really interesting one for you guys today, so without further ado, let's get into it. Altadena, California holds a significant place in Black history, which we know is American Indian history, particularly as a destination during the Great Migration, when American Indian families moved from the South seeking better opportunities and escaping racial discrimination. The community became a haven for, quote, Black, unquote, families, fostering a thriving middle-class neighborhood with a high rate of Aboriginal home ownership. Tragically, the recent Eaton fire has devastated this historic community, destroying thousands of homes and landmarks integral to its cultural heritage. The fire has raised concerns about the potential displacement of long-standing Black, or rather indigenous families, and the erasure of the community's rich legacy. Efforts are underway to support affected families and preserve the historical significance of Altadena. Community leaders emphasize the importance of rebuilding to maintain the area's cultural identity and continue the legacy established during the Great Migration. Hey, real quick, y'all, I wanted to show you where Altadena got its name from. I thought it was really interesting. I found this on the LAWalkingTours.com, History of Altadena. That's a pretty good article. We're going to start down here on this side. It says, then came the Woodbury brothers, John and Frederick, today thought of as the fathers of Altadena. They moved to California from Iowa in 1880 and bought much of the land that would become Altadena. A friend of theirs, Brian O. Clark, had started the Altadena nursery years before coining the name Altadena, from Spanish alta, meaning upper, and dina, or dina, a Chippewa word. You see that? That's a Chippewa word, meaning crown of the valley. All right. So it gets its name from the Spanish and from the Aborigine, from the American Indian. Okay, so it doesn't surprise me that this later became a haven for the Aboriginal Americans, for the American Indian, the copper-colored indigenous people of this land that people know today as black. But we're taking our identity back. We are the American Indian. So I just wanted to show that to you guys real quick. And yeah, it's very interesting, right? Well, with that being said, family, I got a couple of videos that I wanted to show y'all. Some Niji clips that we can get into concerning the situation going on in Southern California. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these.
Yesterday, when I posted the spreadsheet to help the black families in LA, there were 5 families on that list that had reached their goal out of 205 families. Not only were 150 more families added to that spreadsheet, now when you look at the spreadsheet, over 20 plus families reached their goal. And if you look at the spreadsheet, the organizers color coded it yellow, orange, light green, and dark green. And if you look at all of the light green, which is indicative of people that are nearing their goal, it's countless families. And that's a matter of folks like y'all showing up, sharing the resources, donating to help other people. That's what community looks like.
You don't realize what really matters until you have to pack an evacuation bag. You don't realize how minute these materials are until you're trying to put the most important things you have in your car. I got an evacuation warning Thursday night and came out to San Diego. And even that feels like a privilege because I'm watching people that I know affected by this fire, houses that I've been in, burned to the ground. And all they could take was the clothes on their backs. That's it. They didn't have time to prepare and grab their baby pictures and family heirlooms and important documents. 4 generational homes, from the grandma to the mom and dad, to my friends, to their kids, all living under one roof, home gone. And it's just really hard to see. I graduated from Pasadena High School. I went to Dorsey High School, and then in my junior year, I transferred over to Pasadena. And I was coming from South LA, so when I got to Altadena and saw all these houses and mansions and realized it was black people having these homes, it was so inspiring to me. Altadena was the first place that I saw black success normalized. When I say success, I don't only mean financially. I mean the family units were together. Growing up in one home over the duration of your whole life, I admired that. Because me and my mom, we moved around a lot. And moving there really allowed me to see what's possible. You can't be what you can't see. And so today I'm grieving for those Black families. The ones I know and the ones I don't know. And I'm also grieving just for the legacy of Black excellence that is gone now from that city. If you're watching this happen from another part of the world, I just want you to know that yes, it is as bad as it looks. And I go as far as to say it's even worse. This is going to be a long process. It's going to take these families a long time to heal. This isn't just like the hot tea of the week that we can just look over next week. No, there's going to be a constant need for support. And over the past few days, I've been seeing so many companies and communities band together to help those that have had to evacuate. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of a city that comes together like this in these times. I really am. We are also organizing a donation drop-off next week at Burn Cycling for anybody who wants to come drop off toiletries or clothes, and we'll be giving them back. We'll package them all and give them back. I am also organizing the California Catastrophe Fire Fund. This is through my nonprofit, Common Unity Arts, and we are accepting donations right now. And with those donations, we're going to package necessities for evacuees and donate to the hundreds of Black families affected by these fires. So if you're seeing everything that's happening and wondering how you can get involved, this is a great way to do so. You can go to my website, commonunityarts.com. All the information is there. Everything is there. And we'd really appreciate your support helping getting these families back on track. So our nonprofit is a 501c, so all donations are tax deductible. And this is going to be an ongoing, long-term project. This is going to take some time. But I'm praying that slowly but surely we can help our people start rebuilding their lives. I'm praying for everybody in LA affected by these fires right now. Even if your house is still standing, because displacement is hard. And the air quality is bad. But we're going to figure this thing out. And we're going to do it together. Thank you to everyone checking on me. I'm good. I'm safe. I'm just trying to create solutions. Okay? Peace.
So there are a lot of people writing about and talking about what's happening in California right now with the wildfires, as they should be. But in my latest Substack piece, I specifically focus on Altadena, California, which is a historically Black neighborhood that's been absolutely decimated by this fire, or rather these fires. And so I talk about some of the history of Altadena, its importance, and what we can do to potentially help not save Altadena per se, but help rebuild and hold on to some of the memories and history that has been created. So the piece is live. Hope you get a chance to read. And if you have an opportunity, donate to the GoFundMe link that I add within the piece.
If you've read my book, Black History Facts You Didn't Learn in School, you know I have a chapter on some of the Black communities that prospered. One neighborhood I didn't mention is the one that now lays among the thousands of acres of land, houses, and communities set aflame by the Los Angeles wildfires, the historically Black neighborhood of Altadena, California. Altadena became a safe space for Blacks during the Great Migration, migrating from southern cities to the north and west. Specifically, Blacks were dealing with redlining, a discriminatory practice that prevented Black people from accessing financial services such as mortgages. For example, from 1934 to 1968, 90% of home loans were given to white families, offering Black families little chance to acquire land, build homes, and create generational wealth amid systemic oppression. With Altadena's open spaces and affordability compared with neighboring Pasadena, it made it an attractive destination. By the 1920s and 30s, a thriving Black community had flourished, overcoming restrictive housing covenants to create a rich cultural and social network. Altadena eventually developed a reputation as a haven for Black professionals, educators, and creatives. A notable author who lived in Altadena was Octavia Butler, whose 1993 novel, Parable of the Sower, imagined a future in which California is inhospitable. The weather is deadly, wealth disparities are vicious, and a presidential candidate might set the country back 100 years. The book opens, we are in July of 2024, and then it goes through 2025, 2026, and 2027. In her book, the fictional city of Robledo is a struggling walled suburb of Los Angeles, besieged by severe drought, class wars, violence, fire-setting scavengers, and a long tormented population seized by political apathy. But Butler said that she didn't profess to be a prophetess, but said that she was simply paying attention to the state of the world. In the real world, we had just seen the 1992 LA riots. Fury over the acquittal of the cops who beat Rodney King, caught on tape, stoked by years of racial and economic inequality in the city, spilled over into the streets, resulting in 5 days of rioting in LA. It ignited a national conversation about racial and economic disparity and police use of force. In 1992, we had also just seen the murder of 15-year-old Latasha Harlins, Butler's protagonist in the book is also 15 years old, by Korean store clerk Soon Ja-doo over a bottle of orange juice in March of 91. And at the time of that Butler's book came out, Cali was just a few months away from the magnitude 6.7 earthquake that would happen on January 17, 1994, striking Southern California. Known as the Northridge earthquake, it caused at least 57 fatalities. A subsequent study put the death toll at about 72, including people who had heart attacks, and injured thousands. The earthquake caused up to $20 billion in damage costs, plus $40+ billion in economic loss, making it the costliest earthquake disaster in U.S. history. These are just a few examples of how history is not disconnected from the present, and how tragedies like this offers us the opportunity to learn more about the people and the places to which we live.
I want to take a minute to tell you guys a little bit about Altadena. It is such a special neighborhood, and it's a historically Black neighborhood here in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, Altadena is one of the neighborhoods most severely impacted by the current wildfires. To remind you a bit, in 1960, Altadena was 95% white. But the civil rights movement, along with issues like school desegregation and LA's freeway constructions, caused roughly half of Altadena's white population to relocate. If you've ever heard the term white flight, that's exactly what happened. This left opportunity and affordability in Altadena, which became a go-to destination for Black families looking to advance their American dreams. Get a shot at a really great future. Altadena's diversity is its strength and its sense of community, but right now it's extremely vulnerable. Black families have lost homes that they've owned for generations. Black businesses have literally been burnt to the ground. Not only have people lost everything, but we know that Black families and businesses will actually face larger hurdles statistically in accessing loans, getting proper legal representation, getting insurance repayments, and so many other forms of critical capital that you need to rebuild from the fires. We need to make sure that communities of color are not overlooked when we're giving our much needed support to everyone that's been impacted in LA. The 15% pledge is here specifically to help Black founders rebuild. But here is also a master list of fundraising asks from Black families that are currently trying to put their entire lives back together. But again, if you're a Black-owned business or a founder in need of support, you can email us directly at the 15% pledge. It's brands@15pp.org. More to come, guys. Mask up and stay safe, Los Angeles.
Shit crazy as fuck. $1 million house just burned down. Like, this shit look like motherfucking, I don't know what the fuck. Texas Massacre, some Chainsaw Massacre, some crazy shit, blood.
I never in my life would have had the thought I'd make a video like this, but this is my house right now, unfortunately. Due to the Eaton Canyon fires, our family has lost a home that's been with us for more than 50 plus years. But it wasn't just our home, it was my mother's business and daycare as well that helped raise so many children and people in the Altadena area. And I would never get on here trying to panhandle and beg, but if you can support right now, I would deeply appreciate it from me and my family. So if you could go to my profile, click the Instagram in my bio, and just show some support, whether that's donating or sharing, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, luckily, I was able to save my computer, so I'm going to try to get that set up as soon as possible because tomorrow I want to do like some charity streams that'll go specifically to families in need because I know a lot of people personally that were affected by this who need some help. And I'm going to try to post more videos and information about what's really going on and how we can help those in need who really need it because Altadena, this moment will not define us and we will bounce back. Thank you.
Kind of want to give a little insight on why this is, for most people, why this is so devastating in this community specifically, the west side of Altadena, the west side of Pasadena. So many people on this side of town fought so very hard to buy their homes when they were being redlined, all different types of things. Our grandparents doing what they could to secure our futures and to see just, literal blocks. It looks like a war zone. Like, just all down well, you can't see that, but like all down the street, just house after house after house after house after house. Just.
The fires are not just affecting rich white people. I've been seeing a lot on social media about how the fires here in LA are mainly destroying rich celebrity homes. And I am here to tell you that is so incredibly inaccurate. I realize if you don't live here in California or LA, your perception of LA is completely screwed up by what you see on TV and the movies. There's a lot of regular folks that live here, and there's a lot of folks that live below the poverty line here in LA. There are 8 wildfires actively burning here in LA County. One of them, the Eaton Fire in Altadena, has completely burned California's first middle-class Black neighborhood. Not rich folks, not celebrities. These are mainly 3rd and 4th generation Black family homes. Altadena was one of the first suburbs in LA that Black people could buy houses in. The people that lived in these neighborhoods were the first people in their families to buy a house. These are hardworking, middle-class Black folks, Black families, multi-generational families living in these homes. As of today, these neighborhoods do not exist. It's not there anymore. These homes have been completely wiped out. Businesses, grocery stores, banks, low-income apartment buildings, rent-controlled apartment buildings, gone. The entire neighborhood has been burned to the ground. I am 6 months pregnant. My nerves are out of this world. I've been shaking. My chin is breaking out. I'm in the valley, currently in the center of several fires around me. I just got word that there is a new fire very, very close to me, waiting for my husband to get home so that we can leave our house and evacuate. We're not rich. We're not celebrities. No one is immune to the fires that are happening in LA right now.
Cameron Hudson waited as long as he could, watching the Eaton fire rage on an Altadena mountainside next to his home before evacuating.
When I left Monday night, it was embers coming down the size of golf balls, raining down. I left the house up here, I would say probably about 1:30 in the morning. And it was just unbearable. Just had to leave. Smoke, fireballs, just seemed like a bad movie.
So that fire was coming down the mountain?
Absolutely. The fire was on top of the mountain here, and it was coming down, and the wind was blowing it so bad that it was just consuming and everything in its path.
He was sending me pictures, and I couldn't believe it. I didn't think we were going to return back to the house at all. I thought it was going to be gone by the time we got back.
When the Hudsons returned today, they saw the charred ruins of other homes in the cul-de-sac, and then they saw their house.
Our house is untouched. The backyard burned, the side of the house burned, our cars in the driveway burned down, but our house and the neighbor's house is untouched. Your heart goes out to the people that lost, and
I think that with that being said, Malibu is going to be okay. Pacific Palisades is going to be okay.
Hollywood Hills.
Yeah, so there's a level of wealth and power in those communities that are going to ensure that the insurance companies are going to live up to their obligations and pay out in those communities. My concern is Altadena. And so what's going to happen to a marginalized African-American community, or even an African-American Latino community that doesn't have that kind of wealth and power to ensure that the insurance companies are going to live up to their obligations and pay out?
Agreed.
After a tragedy or a major national disaster, we witnessed it in Katrina, where black folks were wiped out. And then in came the gentrification. And so if you look at the location of Altadena, that's prime real estate, next to Malibu and next to Pacific Palisades, and it's the opportunity to expand those communities.
The other lingering effect that we got to consider is health and environmental.
Mm-hmm.
Given all the smoke, given the controversy with United Healthcare and health insurance companies denying claims, how is this going to impact, again, Black Americans, especially those who are in the inner cities, and let's go ahead and say, and even mid-class families? Will these insurance companies say, well, because this is an act of God, we won't take care of it?
And they could say that.
They can say that.
But they're going to say that you were a smoker before the fire.
Let me bring up something that's more fundamental and elementary. Where am I going to get my mail? If you're the insurance company or somebody and I want to send you a notice, okay, even of denial, or if I want to send you a check, where am I going to send it to?
Eric Braden, on Young and the Restless, of course, he lost his home totally. And so the interviewer asked him, what did you take out the home? Now, take note. He says, we grabbed a box with our passports and important papers in it. So it's important that we have a fire-resistant box with all the important papers in it, because even if God forbid, your house burns down, you can still get that.
Take pictures of your things in your house, but the family pictures that you also have, scan those and upload them to the cloud so that you have them.
Camera.
oh my God, it's all gone.
Dale Fielder never imagined leaving the magical place he called home.
When I moved there 16 years ago, my wife said, well, can you see yourself here in 5 years? It's like, you can bury me in that backyard.
The professional musician and owner of an independent jazz label lost nearly everything in the fire, including his instruments.
There was so much love in this house just to see it like this.
Fielder says Altadena was more than a home. It was a connection to a strong African-American history. Many Black families have lived in Altadena for generations, and Fielder says the community celebrated artists. Now, he fears it all could be lost forever.
It's nothing. Everything is just burnt. And what wasn't burnt was in the process of being burnt. And just to think, it's never going to be like that again.
And understandably, Fielder is devastated. He says that starting over in his 60s is going to be an incredible challenge. So much of a challenge, in fact, that he and his wife are considering leaving the state of California altogether. And I got to tell you, driving through this neighborhood, it's home after home, scene of destruction, just like this one, meaning that these gut-wrenching narratives are undoubtedly playing out across Altadena.
Can I record? Can I record? record you and ask a question? I just want to know, like, why are you guys here?
We are here because we are, long story short, the governor allowed us be here and assist law enforcement.
What are you? The National Guard?
Yes, we're the Army National Guard.
Okay. Wow, this is so crazy. We never seen nothing like this in Altadena. We've been living here our whole lives. My grandmother's house burned down to the ground.
I mean, y'all saw like fires. Yeah. Our resources are stretched thin. It's one of those things where I wish it never had to happen, but here we are.
Yeah. It's awful. Our community of black and browns have completely been destroyed. So he's going to go ahead and tell us what their mission is.
So for the 330th Military Police Company, my name is Cadet Kevin Blanco. Our company is stationed out of Ontario. Our mission is to support law enforcement in conducting TRPs, TCP operations, which is traffic control point operations. So we assist law enforcement and other agencies to making sure that, you know, unauthorized people aren't passing through our control points.
Okay, thank you so much. I had to go back and make that video because of my last post. A lot of people were commenting negative things and saying really nasty things, like I was flirting with him, saying he's not doing his job. That sergeant was actually very well educated. He was very kind. I was not flirting with him. And also, let's clear the air on the racism part. Where I was recording is predominantly black and brown. Pasadena and Altadena are very diverse. I am not racist in any way, shape, or form. I am very thankful for these people here because there is looting going on, but there are a lot of people who were confused with the tanks because there was a post spreading around saying that mass deportation is happening, and it was happening at a grocery store near here. So I was just clearing the air for those who were confused. Thank you for watching my video, and continue to watch me if you want to see what's going on in Altadena and Pasadena. Bye.
So a woman was arrested today for arson, trying to start more fires near Malibu. She has a history with the law, having been arrested in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Florida. And as of right now, the LAPD say that she does not have any residence here in California. They don't believe that she lives here at all. Gloria Lynn Mandich was this woman's name. What was she doing here? It's getting harder and harder to think that this is a conspiracy. Why is she here? And why is she here setting fires in the midst of the worst disaster that Los Angeles has seen in many years? I'm fairly certain the answers will come out. But what I believe is happening, what I believe has been happening, seems to be making perfect sense. And a lot of you feel it too. Let's not forget the behavior of certain people when these fires broke out. The narratives and the blame that were being thrown at Gavin Newsom and the mayor of Los Angeles before anybody could really get their bearings on what was happening to them. How even now they keep pushing those narratives and having those conversations. They keep talking about DEI. They keep talking about the failure of democratic leadership. And not only that, to specifically go after places like the Hollywood Hills and Pacific Palisades, where it is known that the wealthiest people, not only in the state, but maybe in the world, are all living in some of the most expensive real estate on the planet. I believe that we are going to learn very soon that this might not have been an accident. I believe certain parties really wanted to weaken the state of California. Because what have a lot of people said, especially with the incoming administration? You know, living here, I know I've heard a lot of people say, living here, that California has the leverage to push back against a lot of what these people want to do over the next 4 years. The money we make here and the money we contribute to America as a whole gives us a lot more say over what can and cannot happen to this state under the next administration. But what a coincidence. What a coincidence that a disaster like this happens 2 weeks before that administration secures the power, and then we don't have the leverage that we had a month ago. I'm just saying, Gloria Mandich did not just happen to be in California setting fires during this disaster for no reason.
Tina Knowles recently spoke out about Altadena, California residents losing their homes to the wildfires. Tina posted on Instagram warning Altadena residents not to sell their land to developers making offers. She writes in a caption, "Hi guys, I have had the honor of working with many relief organizations to help people affected by natural disasters like this fire that is being perpetuated through the high winds in Los Angeles. Please, residents of Altadena, do not sell your property. I've seen it happen again and again in times of desperation. Vultures are circling to try to take advantage of everyone who is in need now because they've lost everything. It is very tempting to sell your property, but God has got you and He will make a way. It is very disgusting that people are politicizing a disaster which has hurt so many people and they are suffering. The fact that people can think of taking advantage of someone at a time like this, just know that there is a special place in hell for you, people who are doing this. Or for you that are trying to use this for political gain, by pointing fingers and causing distraction away from the community at a time like this. Shame on you. What does bring joy in my heart is how the people of Los Angeles and the people all over the world are praying and sending love and donations and trying to do what they can do to help each other at such a time as this. God bless you all, everyone who's donated time or money or whatever they can. It restores your faith in human kindness and mankind. Just know that you will get through this." Tina posted on Instagram about the history of Altadena with a caption that reads, "A historic black neighborhood has been hit by the destructive wildfires raging across Los Angeles County. Altadena is known as California's first middle-class black community. During the Great Migration, the area served as a refuge for black Americans to flee the Jim Crow South. Altadena offered black families a chance to acquire land, build homes, and create generational wealth without redlining, other forms of systemic oppression. Altadena's black population grew from roughly 4% in 1960 to 31% in 2000. Now wildfires fueled by Santa winds and dry conditions threaten to wipe out the community. As maintained media directs its attention to the countless celebrities affected by the wildfires, social media users spotlighted the impact the natural disaster has had on the black community of Altadena.
$250 billion in property damage. Over 12,000 structures destroyed. Altadena with 81.5% black home ownership, which is double the national average, and a lot of generational wealth as a result of it. A good portion of that destroyed. 8,000 structures, 9,000 homes actually in Altadena alone gone. It's generational wealth. You're talking about multiple fires in multiple areas that converge, fueled by high winds, historical levels of high wind, so you couldn't get helicopters and planes in the air to put the fires out, along with a lot of dryness and drought conditions that have persisted forever, combined with an overrun infrastructure and response system that just could not keep up with the fires, just set the pace and the standards and the set up an environment for an unprecedented fire of unprecedented damage and destruction. Over 20 lives have been lost. My heart goes out to those families. That number is still being calculated. There is going to be damage and destruction after the damage and destruction. Folks are coming, unfortunately, after you. I do not understand these people. But folks are going to try to separate you now from your wallet. You're going to have fraud and people coming to you supposedly to help you, trying to get you to sign a quick claim deed, trying to give you a quick cash out. There's a potential of gentrification in Altadena because people may not feel they can rebuild because maybe they feel they were uninsured or don't know that there's resources available from the federal government. This has been declared a national emergency, by the way. So there'll be resources available at city level, state level, and the federal level. And by the way, people don't know that low interest rebuilding loans come through the SBA. So the Small Business Administration calls you, do not hang up the phone because you don't own a small business. You're going to have FEMA resources available to you, American Red Cross resources available to you, restructuring resources available to you from Operation Hope. Yes, we're going to be on the ground with Hope Inside, Disaster Project Restore Hope Los Angeles, helping you to negotiate and renegotiate your credit card bills, your renegotiate your mortgage loans, your rights that you have, you may be aware of, helping you to talk to your insurance companies, helping you to deal with these folks coming at you with these, in some cases, crazy offers, and in many cases, illegitimate offers. When in doubt, don't. Just pause. Hit the pause button. Do not make a decision emotionally or in a state of distraughtness. Make sure that you talk to somebody, talk to our people and others who are there to help you to find some kind of a rainbow after this storm. I guarantee you there is a bright light on the other side. We just need to get there together. Insurance is going to be a big issue with these fires. A lot of people were either uninsured or underinsured, and that's going to be an issue. But you also may have rights that you may not be aware of. There's also a state fund for insurance and so on and so forth. I want you to read the article from Time Magazine that they just published. Thank you, Time, for letting me share my voice on this topic of how we're all in this together. We're going to get through this together. Read the piece on Time. Share it with everybody you know. Download the Emergency Financial First Aid Kit, the EFAC that we designed with FEMA and Homeland Security, so that you can create a plan for you to have all the data, the documents you need in case there is a disaster in the future. And even for those dealing with the LA fires, even though the fires have already happened, this can help you right now. Download the EFAC from FEMA website, EFFAK, EFAC, which we designed to help you help yourself. Put all your documents and information in one place so that you can get it to folks who are going to need it to get you the financial help you're going to need to get on the other side of this. We're here for you. Know that. And I have a team that's going to be here for you coming up in the next few weeks that'll be led by Brad Johnson, Lance Triggs, and others there in the city of Los Angeles, along with our more than 50 Hope Inside offices and our partners. God bless you, and know that I'm with you.
All right, y'all. So there you have it. A lot of mixed emotions, period, going on during this time. But we do have needies out there on the ground. We do have our people out there helping one another. And if you guys need any more information, by all means, TikTok is still here. It's not gone. These people still have their profiles. They are very well active as of today. Get these links, get to their profiles, get to their links, get to these sources. You've seen websites and links listed. Pause the video if you have to and grab those links and help in any way that you can. Always vet the sources. Check out the websites. Look at the Better Business Bureau. See where they stand. That's with anything and everything. As the brother mentioned in the last clip, there are those who are trying to scam folks, that are trying to take advantage of our hurt in our time of loss. So always be vigilant in that case. Do not become a victim. With that being said, I know some had asked about my family personally. We're good. We're in Central California, so it's not Southern California. We're up north from there, a couple hundred miles. So we're good. Everything is okay. I appreciate each and every one of you who took the time out to message me via Twitter and other of my social media platforms, just asking if we were okay, and we're good. I do have some family down south, but they weren't affected firsthand per se. But I do have some in the inner cities of greater Los Angeles, and and in the inland, that Compton, Los Angeles, Long Beach, Watts, those areas, air quality is bad. Although they didn't lose anything or was affected directly by the fire. It's the side effects, the different things that's going on to the atmosphere, the air, it's affecting the air quality out there really bad. We do have people, a lot of our people out there who do have asthma and different, respiratory issues and stuff. So it's a situation altogether out there. But never forget, never forget the greatness that we once had and that we still have within one another. But I just wanted to drop this to let y'all know that it's not just celebrities and so-called white folks that's being affected by this. This is something that's hit home, hit close to home. It has hit home. For a lot of us who first came out, our descendants came out through the Great Migration. A lot of them landed out here, and a lot of us still have and had homes, generations established out here. So once again, thoughts, positive thoughts, healing go out to our family and all those who were affected by the fires in Southern California. Okay, so now's the time to just continue to keep each other in positive upliftment, and yeah, we will get through this. We will get through this together. All right. So, like I said, I would not discourage anyone to donate. I would just encourage everyone to, thoroughly vet the sources. All right. So that's completely up to you if you do that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So this is Chief Steve signing off. Tata Kista, I cherish you all. And Yokoki, thanks for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Peace out, y'all.